Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Raghav Arya and with me today I have Raghav Dhingra to talk about web development. He is a web developer and as well as Google Developer Student Club lead in our campus. And in this video we will covering about how you can start with web development, and if you are a college student then this video is for you guys, so you can start with web development. And he's talking about the complete roadmap about web development, because I really want to help you guys as much as possible, because you don't have to face any difficulties in the future to finding the correct path. So hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Okay, so let's enjoy the session. So राघव, आप अपने बारे में थोड़ा इंट्रोड्यूस करिए.
Yeah, hi everyone. So my name is Raghav Dhingra and I am currently a Google Developer Student Club lead at the campus and also a software developer engineer intern at BlueStacks. And I love to go to hackathons, and till now I've won more than 14 hackathons, including the NASA Space App, Microsoft Incubate, and Solve for Bharat, that is by Pan IITs.
सो नाइस टू हियर यू. आपने काफ़ी सारे हैकाथॉन्स में पार्टिसिपेट किया, इंटर्नशिप भी कर रहे हो. सो लेट्स मूव टू द क्वेश्चंस. हाउ डू यू स्टार्ट विद वेब डेवलपमेंट एंड व्हाट इज योर मोटिवेशन टू स्टार्ट वेब डेवलपमेंट?
Yeah, so basically start from the beginning. So in back to my high school days. So I took part in Google Coding. So from there, when I started my web development and then carry on towards the open source contribution. Till now, I have done like 7 internships in different companies and startups. So like to be in the web development, you basically have to start from the base of web. That is like getting knowledge about the Chrome browser, any browser, and then getting started with HTML. That is the base of every like websites and web application. That's starting from the HTML, then CSS, and upgrading to JavaScript. So HTML will give you the basic skeleton of how the website will be, like the basic skeleton of the website, and then the CSS would be having all the design elements, so designing of the each and every part instance of a website or a web application, and then moving over towards the JS. So JavaScript will be handling all the requests and will be acting as a functional part of a website or application. So like moving toward my motivation, so the base motivation come from like doing and working on the projects. So if I am making a particular project, so have to be in a proper way, and then when the project get finished, it gives some sense of satisfaction in us. So that obviously is my motivation to proceed towards more towards other projects and also diving deep into the web development.
Great. And what is the actual path to start web development? Like any fresher comes to the college and who starts, and he or she will be start web development. So how they will start?
So this is rather this is the question of most of the freshers and everyone who joins any bachelor degree,
Mhm.
and mainly towards the software engineering side. So basically, I think the main path that lead to the web development is getting started and getting. Uh, I think there are 2 points. So initial one is getting a proper guidance and a mentorship. So first of all, if anyone enters the college, the first main thing that everyone should have is to have a right mentor. So just start finding a best mentor for yourself, and then uh, ask them to guide you towards how we can proceed with that, and then like getting started with again with the web technologies. Just start with basic technologies like HTML, CSS, and JS, and then move towards the libraries, frameworks, and different approaches that lead to a particular instance of a project.
And What are the technologies that the fresher or any student with the can start with the technologies, like he or she can make the career in web development, like doing the internships, like in the placement.
I think we should always start with making our personal portfolios or like something similar to that. Like we can have our landing website ready of any particular design. We can have like some e-commerce websites, some normal web application, or we can even start with the calculator, base calculator. So that give us a push toward how the things work within itself, and then like moving towards like other fields, we can easily join any of the field after like doing the web development. And also like if we have the project, we can approach to any of the companies or any of the startup who like we have the required knowledge and we have the required like projects that we can show to them, and then like with the help of all these things, so we can grab those opportunities. Working on your own portfolio will help you to understand how a particular website should look like, and that would be acting as a base towards your experience, and then they will be basically hiring you for their company.
And what is your biggest problem that you might be facing in starting the web development, and how do you rectify those problems?
Main problem in the web development is obviously like finding a best mentor to guide. We are in any of the field, either in the marketing, business, or either of the technologies. So we need a proper guidance to go on. Without that, and anyone cannot be follow that path. After seeing our seniors, so that's why we follow their path, because we have their guidance, we have their mentorship, like what are all the obstacles that we can face. So one more thing, like most of the people face like grabbing a particular opportunity or finding their best opportunity to grab. So problem faced by all the freshers, those who are in the path of web development or any of the fields. So yeah, finding a right opportunity is must. So basically we can start toward internship program, but never focus on a particular instance. Rather, go on LinkedIn, ping other people, those are there in the company or those who are the creator of a company. So we can directly ping them. We can send them our resumes. So the main thing to grab any opportunity is to make your portfolio if you are in web development, and then like make your resume. So these two are the main thing that we have to focus on, and then we can have that opportunity grab, and we can proceed with our developer life.
And Raghav, how to learn these technologies? Like many students or fresher find done some courses from Udemy and YouTube, वगैरह, or any platform. So, is it enough for any student for being an web developer?
It is an easy path to become a web developer, as we already have a lot of like sessions uploaded over the YouTube, and also we have the communities such as DSC, we have GDGs, and then different type of community within our college or itself within an area or state or country. Rather, we have some global communities itself, from where we can take help from those people, and then they can also guide us. And then like to get started, I think you can learn these technologies over freecodecamp.org. So from there, I have started my career. So I just go over to the website and then just grab any of the instance, and then I grab any of the instance that I want to learn, and then just they have that particular tutorial, so you can get started with those, and also like you can go to the YouTube tutorials, and obviously the stack also is.
Like we all know, courses are not enough when we apply our own logic. So, what do you think about?
Yeah, definitely. Like there is a huge difference between l- theory and practice. So learning something is different than applying that theoretical knowledge one in a project. Having the access of courses, having certification does not matter much. But which matter the most is like having the hands-on experience in a real-world project, like which most of us should have. So Like we just move toward the following some courses and having certification. This certificate will never have any dead end. So we just go on any course and then having some practice. But this does not give us any practical real life experience. So to show to any company, this is must.
And how should they come up with the idea for any project, and what should be the projects that the student should be aiming?
Like the inspiration of getting a project or having a start to a project comes within ourselves. Like if we have learned something, so we try to explore ourselves. So exploring ourselves, exploring other websites and some stuff online up there.
Yes, yes.
So it's a good inspiration. So what should be our next project and goal? So like one of the project that I have recently made. So it was my own website. So that was in the form of an operating system,
Yeah.
and I just was roaming around some online stuffs, and I was just listening to a song. So that was of Alan Walker.
Yeah.
From there, I got an inspiration. So transforming my website into a type of an operating system.
Yes.
So yeah, definitely what should be the project, what should be the tech stack, and that definitely comes up after you decide what's the main idea, what's the plot of what you are making. So definitely the project will come by itself.
Yeah, and I already have checked your portfolio and your website, and it
Yeah,
is very cool.
thank you so much.
And next question is, what are the benefits of being an web developer?
Like being a developer itself is a huge thing.
Yes.
Once I remember a line of Steve Jobs, like everyone should learn to code because it gives the ability to think.
Yes.
So, what the point of this is? Obviously, there are perks of being a web developer, as there are a lot of opportunities and a lot of doors open towards ourselves. But being a developer itself give us the ability to think how most of the things work from the base itself. So like applying our fifth or sixth class knowledge in this real world. So
Yes.
I have itself experienced definitely there are a lot of opportunities for the developer. Everyone is hiring, but what they want is having the best and the most appropriate knowledge, which most of us don't have because we just focus on theory. We just don't focus on the practical and real world experiences. So that is must.
Okay. And the next question is, can you tell me the whole roadmap of web developer, like starting from HTML, CSS, JavaScript, and further moving ahead, MERN stack developer like MongoDB, Angular, React, Vue, like this, the whole roadmap.
If you are in the web development part, so you itself get knowledge about what to do next. So start working from HTML, then having some design up, then from where I have started. So having some animations with the help of CSS, and then getting to know about JavaScript and how it works on browsers, and then applying that knowledge to make my own small portfolio rather, and then getting back to the backend side. You should know about the how the things work. So basically how the front end and the back end work, how the request and response system works. And then basically you can move toward any of the platform. Either there are much platform we can choose as a mean stack, mon stack, full stack. There is a huge difference between a mean stack or mon stack developer and a full stack developer. So basically we have to be focused on many in case of mean stack or a mon stack. So we have to focus on just front end and back end and how the database would look like and how will be the connection. But a full stack developer has much wider knowledge. So that also include the security. So how secure would be the system? It would include the hosting, deployment, rather, and all the developer operations that would be over on the cloud, and how to analyze them and working on them. So that's included in the full stack development part. Having the knowledge of front end and the back end does not make itself a full stack developer. Rather, having these knowledge will guide you towards full stack development.
Okay. And what is
And
the difference between MERN and main stack developer?
So there is a small difference like in the mean stack and mon stack. So for the front end side, we in the mon stack, so we use React, and in the mean stack we use Angular as a front end tool.
Yeah,
So basically, Monstack itself mean MERN,
yeah,
MongoDB, Express, React,
React,
and Node.
Monterey.
That Mon. And for the mean MEAN, MongoDB, Express, Angular, and Node. So that itself, we would be exploring ourselves by introducing to these technologies. So we have the database, we have the front end, we have the back end, and we have the connectivity via Express and Node.js. We make REST APIs, and yeah, that's definitely a great path to learn about the web development, and we definitely have a huge opportunity toward if we are in the web development path.
So how you manage time for development and DSA? I see your GitHub profile and I see you are doing DSA as well. So how you manage time for both things?
Yeah, definitely the time management is must like the prior thing to do. So we cannot handle everything in a small instance of a time. We have 24 hours, but definitely like having our food and also like doing more stuff than roaming outside, like watching Netflix, movies, films,
Yeah,
series, and there are much more things. But we definitely have to manage time by at least acquire 3 goals in a day. So every night I roam around my house, so exploring like what should I do next. So I try to at least have 3 goals. So what should I do today? And then if I have some particular task, so nowadays I am learning about IoT stuff. So and rather integrating all the IoT with the over the internet and with the help of normal web technologies. And then for the DSA itself is a huge concept. Like having a development knowledge is different than having a DS concept. And obviously both are required to become a successful developer because having a development knowledge does not give more appropriate knowledge about how like structuring work, how the data will be being saved, and even there are some particular function where when we are designing a concept or a component, so we does not have knowledge about how what will be the complexity of the function work. It will
yeah.
be taking tons of seconds to
Mhm.
load or to render a component, but in DSA we try to minimize all the time and the space complexity. This is the basically main concept of how DSA works.
Yeah,
And having only the DSA knowledge does not give us the knowledge about how the things work in the development life. So basically, keeping both in the same place and the same over the same balance. So we have to manage time. We can try to give at least a month for a development and then a month for a DSA, or that could be a year challenge. Like you can any of the student or a person can become a developer or even a full stack developer within a month. But having a proper experience and having a knowledge of DSA required much more time because the problem solving ability itself is a huge thing. So
yeah.
that's why most of the companies focus on DSA rather than the development because anyone can learn the development, but DSA comes from a constant practice.
Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely, that it will be a challenge to solve a problem rather than coding, simply iterating over code in a development. So definitely, the DSA will be given a higher preference instead of the development. But obviously, combining both two things, so we should keep both the things over the same plate, but having a proper time
Yeah.
for those.
So Raghav, how we proceed towards the backend side?
Like basically for the backend, we need to understand the concept again of uh, about the RESTful technologies, then the API stateful technologies, and then obviously we have to mainly focus on the language, which language we should choose. So
Yeah,
basically, like having a proper for language. does not give us the advantage of like writing the backend code. Rather, we have to use a particular frameworks or libraries to get our things done. So if you can like choose a Java as a language, so we can choose Spring, and
Yeah.
also like with the PHP, we have Laravel. Then if you are in the Ruby side, then we have Ruby on the Rails. So there are much more, but which are the main and like most popular framework nowadays? So obviously, it's the first one is the JavaScript. So basically, why JavaScript? Because we can definitely use the same syntax and like tools over the front end as well as on the back end. And also
Yeah.
the second one is the Python.
Mm-hmm.
So the framework that we'll be using is the Node.js for the JavaScript, and along with the Node.js, rather Node.js is the not only thing, rather we use a Express framework over it
Yeah.
to make some APIs. And then in the Python, we can use either Flask as or we can use Django.
Django.
Django is a framework, Flask is a library. So
Yeah.
what is basically the difference between the library and the framework?
Framework.
So in a library, we does not have the advantage of like rather it's we have the advantage of library, rather we does not have a proper way of writing a particular function. Either we can write it in any of the component or any of the file or folder. In the framework we have a proper set of rule, like where should a particular instance of a code should be defined. If like in the case of talking about the framework, in the case of Django, so we should write the particular URLs in the file. We have to write we have to write functions over a particular instance of uh, py file again.
Yeah.
And then for the templates we have different set of folders. And then in the in the set of libraries, so we does not have a proper guide like rather rules or protocols to follow. We can definitely customize ourselves, rather where to keep where we have kept anything. So definitely uh, we have more flexibility using any library. So in the type of framework, we have to use a well-defined set of functions that they have provided. Or we can also introduce new libraries with them. But in the case of library, if we are using Flask, Node.js, or even we can use like for the front end side, we can use React.
Yeah.
So we have the full flexibility to what to use, how to use, and where to use. So
Yeah.
definitely it have some advantage over them. And if we have made a particular backend and we want to introduce to the outside world, and definitely it will be having a deployment side. So like for the deployment, so I have started to work on with Heroku.
Heroku.
So Heroku is the base technology from where you can deploy any of the backend, even the front end platforms.
Yeah.
So that is much easier than any of the like AWS,
AWS.
GCP, and like digital ocean. And there are
Yeah.
much more platforms from where we can just buy our servers and host our backend over there.
Yeah.
And that obviously have a different set of approaches. So in the Heroku, we just
Create
have
the
to deploy
URL.
our server with the help of normal Git commands.
Yeah.
Rather in case of AWS and GCP, so we have a different approach. Like we just buy a server. There we have some tools like Apache
Yeah.
and Nginx, from where we set up our environment and then deploy our code and run our code there. So we have some different set of configuration we have to set up. And yeah, definitely. So if you are a beginner, so I should prefer to try Heroku. So that would give a major advantage if you are in a hackathon or any of the project that you have to complete in a small instance of time. So definitely you can go with it.
So thanks for joining me, Raghav.
Thank you so much for inviting me, and it was a great session,
Yeah.
and definitely it would help a lot of people.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Welcome.